welcome to my channel, What Words. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. I went ahead and pulled an oracle card to get an idea of what Spirit may be trying to tell you in the spread that we're going to pull. And you got the number 11, Fear. And then to clarify that with a tarot card, you got the 9 of Pentacles. So this feels like there could be fears coming up within you, like even if it's not consciously, it could even be subconsciously based on patterns in your family line even. Just say like if you're single right now, if you're working on being a single person and not worrying about actually attracting a relationship, there could be fears coming up within you because you're not going down the same road that you've already seen your ancestors go down. Maybe. I don't know that for sure, but it feels like there's some kind of fear about being like quote unquote alone, not really having a relationship. Maybe it's like you're starting to feel happy within yourself, like being alone, and fears are starting to pop up like, will I ever have anybody since I'm okay with being alone? And my answer is, if you are wondering that, yes. Usually you attract the best relationships in whenever it doesn't matter if you have anyone or not. So Spirit may be saying, release the fear that you have about it, because that'll keep you a vibrational match to other people that are on the frequency of fear. So we're going to pull 3 cards for the past, 3 for the current, and then 3 for the upcoming energies. And then I'm going to take another tarot deck and clarify some of those cards and close it off with 3 cards of advice from the universe. For Aquarius, you get the 8 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, the Page of Cups, that's the past. In the current energy, you get the 8 of Swords, the Justice card, the Judgment card. In the upcoming energy, you get the 7 of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Emperor. The Chariot is at the bottom of the deck. So for the past energy, you get the 8 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So this feels like before the current time, like in the past, the recent past, you had a lot of fast movement while being in alignment. You were starting to feel fulfilled within yourself with the 9 of Cups. And there could have been love offers coming in here and there with the Page of Cups being there. But I don't believe the way the cards are looking, it's not like you really accepted any of them, because maybe there weren't really anybody you wanted that came in. So maybe that's why the fear is coming up now, because you feel like, well, if I'm single and I'm happy being single, am I going to be like that for the rest of my life? In the current energy, you get the 8 of Swords, the Justice card, and the Judgment. So the 8 of Swords being there, you could be trapped in your mind and your thoughts of fear. You could have a lot of fear going around in your mind. And with the Justice card being there, that's trying to seek balance. And this could also speak to some kind of marriage, some kind of commitment that you have in your life. It could be trying to come back around as well, with the Judgment card being there, and the Emperor is directly underneath the Judgment. In the upcoming energy, you get the 7 of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Emperor. I feel like with you being Aquarius, the King of Swords is the energy you're giving off. Whether you're woman or man, doesn't matter. The Emperor card could be the person that you were married to. And the 7 of Swords is speaking to the deception that could have been between you and this person in this connection. It could also be speaking to the fears that are coming up. Maybe you're considering going back to this person with the Judgment card being there, because you don't want to be alone for the rest of your life. Maybe that fear is popping up even if you haven't told anybody. Maybe that fear just keeps coming around, so you're thinking, maybe I should just go back to this Emperor person. But based on this timeline, if this is your story, Spirit is saying the 7 of Swords is the connection between you and this person. So it's not a good thing to do. Just because you're up in your head about being alone, going back to this person would not be a good idea. So we're going to pull some cards to clarify. In the past, I want to clarify the 8 of Wands for Aquarius. I feel like that was like new belief systems coming in. You were in alignment. You had a lot of movement and a lot of growth in a positive direction. You were really on a good path with the Nine of Cups coming in there, and you had people coming in and out offering stuff with the Page of Cups. But like I said before, it was people that you just really wasn't interested in them. Because you're in the Nine of Cups, that usually happens. So let's see what the Eight of Wands is for Aquarius. The Eight of Swords again, the Hierophant, the World card. The Four of Swords is at the bottom. So you're going through a lot of healing. But with the Eight of Swords being here twice, your mind is taken over, basically. It's like if you would just meditate maybe every day, maybe eventually that would subside some. But the Hierophant card, the World, and the Eight of Swords is clarifying the Eight of Wands. So you're moving in a really good direction. With the Hierophant there, it could speak to a commitment, but it could also speak to new spiritual practices that you were doing. And once you got on a schedule of doing these every day, the Eight of Wands came in and it like just blasted through the Eight of Swords energy, bringing in a new cycle. And sometimes it's not comfortable when we get in a new cycle. But you're also in the Nine of Cups in the past too. So you're in a really good place emotionally as well. These people coming in that you weren't interested in almost seem to have triggered your overthinking about going back to a past person that was an emperor that you were connected to. But the connection there with that emperor has Seven of Swords attached to it. So in the current energy, I want to clarify the Judgment card. I feel like that is, like you're wondering, basically, here's the Death clarifying the Judgment. The Knight of Wands and the Ten of Swords. So yes, whatever this connection is with this emperor person, it's like saying that it's ended. Because the energy between you and this person was like in and out. It doesn't mean they were in and out as far as committal wise. You could have been married to the person with the Justice card being there also, or in a commitment with them. You could have lived with them, had kids with them. But it's saying that it's ended. But this ending, now that it's truly ending, is causing you to overthink the situation. Like you're considering, maybe nobody knows this on the outside, but you know it on the inside. You're considering, well, should I go back to this? It's something comfortable that you know. But with the World card being in the past attached to the Nine of Cups, I think Spirit is saying, release the fear about being single because you're on the right path. Whatever path you're going down now, being single, you're getting in your own emotional stability within yourself. And just because people are coming in with Page of Cups energy in the past that you're not really interested in, that's fine. That's just people coming here and there. That doesn't mean that your person's not going to come eventually. It just means right now the universe is saying it's time for you to be single and go on a path of learning yourself first, and then your connection can come in. So in the upcoming energy, and the Hermit was at the bottom, but on the upcoming energy, I want to clarify the Seven of Swords for Aquarius. And you get the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Swords clarifying the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Cups. With the Four of Swords at the bottom again. See, you're on like a path of healing, basically. That's what Spirit is saying. Release the fear about having to be alone for a little while because you're on the path of healing and become emotionally stable within yourself. And it won't ever matter if someone comes in, actually, when you get on this path and you truly get to walk in it. So with the Seven of Cups clarifying the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Swords clarifying the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Cups clarifying the Seven of Swords. This connection between you as the King of Swords and whoever this Emperor is it brings a lot of confusion when you are connected to them. There's a lot of deceit. It could be on one side or both sides between each other. And there's also a lot of dissatisfaction. This person could want to reconcile. They have the Three Cups in front of them, but they're not looking at the cup Spirit is offering them, which is the one within themselves. So they have a lot of work to do on the inside of themselves as well. But if you're in true King of Swords energy, like the upcoming spread is saying, you will release the fear. A true king of swords is going to stand in their truth, and they're going to tell you the truth whether it hurts or not, but they're not going to do it with the intention of hurting you. But you're going to see through the confusion, and you're going to see through the deceit and the dissatisfaction. You're going to realize that that's not the way you want your life to go. So we're going to get 3 cards from the universe based on the vibrations you could be giving off / advice you may need to hear at this time. I think the overall message of the whole spread is release any fears you have about walking your path completely alone for a little while, because you have the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles showing up, and that is always the goal. The 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles is the goal. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles is just a cherry on top that the universe rewards us with once we reach the goal of the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. That's when we're okay being alone. That's when we're okay taking care of ourselves. That's when that 10th cup and that 10th pentacle come in, and it's happy. And this just flipped. The 8 of Wands. So you got the 8 of Wands twice in your reading. The Fool card and the Hermit. So the advice from the universe is allow new opportunities to come in. Be okay with being alone with the Hermit card. Going within, finding out your belief system and your truth, because it's going to bring a lot of forward movement in a very positive direction. This card is an awesome card to get twice. 8 of Wands. You're headed for a new cycle. I believe you're already in the midst of the new cycle. I just believe now that you're in it a little bit, now that you're down the path a little bit and you're starting to realize you feel happy from within, and there are people offering you Page of Cups energy here and there, and you're really not interested. Now you're rethinking the whole idea of whoever the emperor was that you were with. Should you go back? You've thought about it a little bit. You maybe considered it a little bit, but you probably haven't told anybody. Here's the 2 of Pentacles at the bottom. So yes, that is like the vibration you're giving off. Should I go back, rethinking it, or should I go ahead and go forward? So I think this reading basically overall is just saying release the fear of being alone, and just keep going down the path you're going, because you're headed in a very good direction. And don't allow this person, whoever the emperor is, that has 7 of Swords energy attached twice, don't allow them to come back in and start a whole new cycle over again that you've already done completed, since you already have the World card. Okay, Aquarius, that's been your reading, and thank you so much for watching.